REEU, double E, stands for Research Experience and Extension for undergraduate students. It is funded by a U.S. Department of Agriculture, usually just called USDA. And the project supports 6 students every year for global research engagement and extension. This is very special because apart from the research, the students also are involved in extension work where they go to the community and work with the farmers and explain to the farmers how they can best do the farming. And of course, they also learn from the farmers about what they are doing. So the students get 8 weeks of research experience, working alongside international mentors, wonderful peer mentors, graduate mentors for 8 weeks, and then they prepare their results in terms of posters, PowerPoint presentations. They write a manuscript at the end of the 8 weeks. And the climax is usually this symposium where they showcase their work.
So my project is studying the shelf life of mangoes and avocados. Specifically, I'm working on avocados. And we're trying to add in natural preservatives like gum arabic and then Warburgia eucandensis extract, which is a tree. And we're going to try and see if it can last longer on shelves. It's important because it's decreasing food waste after produce has been harvested, and it's also trying to increase food security in the long run. So overall, good objectives.
So a coating like this one is made from herbal extract, so it's not as if you have to chemically synthesize it for the most part. And so farmers, it's available for farmers to use at their leisure. They can use this information to prolong the shelf life of their fruits, get a little bit more money because their fruits will last longer, and I think it will add a lot to the value chain of Kenya.
But the main takeaways I want you guys to see is that for each group there's 3 rows per group, and I have from day 8 and day 20. With the control group, it's almost always really, really ripe, overripe, spoiled, and I have the scale over here. But with the edible coating groups being gum arabic and Warburgia plus gum arabic, they were less so ripe.
The challenge we have been having is that most of the producers and the sellers have been using some chemical preservatives to prolong the shelf life. But because the consumers are becoming more health conscious, we want to eliminate the use of synthetic chemicals with biopreservatives which are organic and mostly obtained from trees.
What I've been doing this summer is utilizing fodder crops in order to help smallholder dairy farmers to increase their milk yields. And this is important because the smallholder dairy farmers make up the most of our market here in Kenya, over half actually. And 70% of milk productivity is dependent on nutrition and management practices. Another part of my project is really promoting institutional and extension support for these farmers so that they're able to increase productivity and efficiency and have access to new technologies.
So we selected 5 farmers and set up a demonstration plot for the various fodder crops that we have selected, which have been determined to be high-value fodder crops that can help increase milk production. And then the second phase was now to look at the milk quantity and quality from these smallholder farmers.
All of the protein levels in the milk among the 5 farmers were low. So increasing the crude protein supplementation can assist in increasing their protein in the milk. We also found that some of the protein-fat ratios were lower than they should be. It can indicate something called rumen acidosis, and it can be aided by feeding more carbohydrate. So currently we will be establishing a fact sheet for our farmers in which they can then network with other farmers in order to be able to utilize these crops on a wider scale.
The cost of feeds is a main barrier to the adoption of aquaculture in rural Kenya. And this shrimp, Cardinia nautica, is an affordable solution. And I'm investigating whether letting it decompose in water, forming bioflocks, which are aggregates of microorganisms that recycle nutrients, whether letting those grow will enhance the nutrition of the fish feed.
The production cost is about 60% to feed the fish, and we're trying to find a way to cut that down in natural environments. The project is on how we will cut the cost of it, and because of our project, our farmers won't have to spend as much money on food for the fish, because we'll be working with the shrimp and also the catfish and tilapia eggs, so that the fish that are growing in the farm will get the correct nutrition that it needs. In conclusion, fish eggs from these sources, particularly from Lake Victoria, represent a significant potential source of dietary. It could be explored for development for nutritional supplements.
The cost of feeds constitutes up to 60% of the total cost of production. So if we're able to reduce that cost significantly, then we are going to have more wealth for the farmers, more money for them, more income, and of course, we are going to increase our production of fish in Kenya. And for Melina Ross, if we find that these fish eggs contain high levels of these essential minerals, then it means we are potentially a new fish product in the market. So we have more diversity in terms of which kind of products we can be able to eat from the fish. So this is really very good.
So the population is growing constantly, so it's important to meet these food demands. Aquaponics offers a sustainable method to food production by combining aquaculture and hydroponics.
Probiotics are microorganisms that promote both the immune system and the health of farm animals. Their inclusion in aquaculture feed formulation contributes to improve the health of fish. Some sources of probiotics are in yogurt, cheese, milk, and sauerkraut. Aquaponics is a food production system that integrates the use of hydroponics and aquaculture. Isolating lactobacillus from the water and sediments of Lake Victoria and also the gills of tilapia, we found that lactobacillus is found in the water and sediments. And we also found that it has probiotic properties that is good for fish farming, is good for the fish to inject, and it also is good for the consumers to
No, so we're studying the lactobacillus is found on the skin and guts of tilapia, and we're using that lactobacillus as a probiotic to enhance human health, gut health, and to improve fish feeds.
Fish will also get the probiotics, and with the consumers consuming, they will also get the probiotic benefits that lactobacillus has as well. What stood out is just that the whole cultural difference. I like experiencing different cultures and how Kenyans live their day-to-day life. So this whole experience has stood out to me.
Talking to people from different cultural backgrounds and different walks of life has definitely been very enlightening for me.
Being within the Kenyan culture, going to the agricultural fair was one of the most fun experiences we've had here. And also going to the Masai Mara was a really wonderful experience as well.
Went to go get our sample. We went to Moranga County, which is about a 4-hour drive away. And it was just a one-day trip. We went there. We really got to know the farmer personally. And I'm also really into bird watching, so I'll take my binoculars everywhere I go and I'll try and see some of the wildlife, and it's been a blast.
I'm very happy to be here, and it's been very rewarding to make progress on my research. And every day I'm exposed to something new from like a different country, different culture. So it's helped me grow as a scientist and as a person.
Something that's been most impactful to me has been working with the farmers, being out in the field, getting to observe their management and feed practices, how they utilize biogas, how they utilize manure, which is a really sustainable system. Hope is that I can take what I've learned here and be able to apply it to where I'm from in the U.S., which can be useful for their systems as well.
The rich collaboration that Egerton enjoys with some of the global research institutions like International Livestock Research Institute in Nairobi have been very useful in providing additional insights and also exposing these students to the ongoing researches and state-of-the-art facilities, which we believe is very critical for producing a modern graduate for global market. Other exposure visits were targeted to specific institutions, research stations and labs.
Karibu sana, karibu sana wa Kenya.
The program and the students have been just truly amazing. They're very, very impressive. They are bright, talented. I was extremely impressed with their presentations, their knowledge of their subject matter, and I was really in awe of how self-confident they were in presenting the information about their subject. They focused on food insecurity and looking at plant science, and their wealth of knowledge was just extraordinary. They've only been here for a short time period, but you can tell that they've grown and learned so very much in that short period that they've been here. I believe our collaboration will continue to grow and expand. I've seen here what is possible, and each cohort that comes through seems to just flourish.
Since inception, that is in the year 2019, this program has enabled students to scale heights in their scholarly pursuits. A lot of publications have come out of the researches that these particular students have done with our Kenyan mentor professors. Secondly, a number of students out of this program have joined and progressed to are currently doing doctorate programs in the US. And we are foreseeing an impact from the community point of view because they interact with the Kenyan society. They are also impacting on the curriculum that we are actually delivering at Egerton University. And it also impacts on the manner in which our own graduate students carry out their research.
Last year we had 11 students that presented their work at a national conference called Emerging Researchers Conference. And the exciting thing is that we had our students win number 1 poster presentation, number 2, and even number 3. We are grateful to the funders, USDA, the program director. Thank you so much for supporting us over the years, and I want to assure you that this work is beneficial, the students are impacted, and we are very, very grateful. And a big thank you to Bowie State University, our own president, President Bro.
Asante sana, asante sana wa Kenya. And that's Kenyans. So I guess we're all Kenyans since we came here.
Fam, you?
BSU, HU, you know?